next body system we are going to look at is the reproductive system. We won't really do too much with this system during the year. It would just be when we do our big dissection in the spring. When we dissect the fetal pig, we'll identify if they are male or female pigs, and learn a little bit more about the reproductive system along with that dissection. So with that said, we're going to do a basic overview now, just because we're going through all of the 11 systems. But your reproductive system, the function is to produce, mature, and store gametes. Gametes are sex cells, so those would be egg or sperm cells. Each gamete contributes half of the DNA to the offspring. And this system is really controlled by hormones that are released by the pituitary gland in your brain. You can see that in the diagram over here. Those hormones are going to trigger either the testes or the ovaries to produce sperm or egg. Those glands also produce hormones of their own, which hopefully you remember some of those hormones from your look at the endocrine system earlier this year. For the male reproductive system, it includes the testes. Over here on the diagram, you see testis. That is just singular of testes. Inside of that, there are seminiferous tubules. That is where the sperm cells are formed. So they're formed in the seminiferous tubules, and then they are stored. You can see it up here on either side, or a more detailed look over here in the epididymis. For the sperm cells to be released, they would travel up through these tubes. Those tubes are called the vas deferens. They travel in front of the bladder, which would be right here, through the prostate gland, and then the sperm would go into the urethra inside of the penis and leave the body that way. So again, the sperm are formed in the seminiferous tubules and then stored in the epididymis until they would need to be released. For a female, they would have ovaries. These ovaries are going to produce follicles that will mature into eggs that will be released. Those eggs are released into the fallopian tubes. You have one on each side, you can see here. And then they would go inside of the uterus, which is this structure here. That would either be implanted in the wall of the uterus if it had been fertilized in the fallopian tube. Otherwise, it would leave through the cervix, which is not labeled here, into the vagina, and then that would be gotten rid of along with the lining of the uterus during the menstrual cycle for that particular month. You're going to use this brief intro along with a linked reading to help you complete your assignment for today on the reproductive system. So again, we're not really going to do too much with this. When we do the pig dissection later in the year, you will see that even though these were human reproductive systems that we looked at diagrams of, the parts and the basic structures are going to be similar when we do the pig because they are mammals also. So again, just a brief overview here. If you have questions, please let me know and we can get those taken care of.